Hi, my name is Steve. I'm your teacher buddy. Welcome to my channel. Okay, let's talk about fractions. And of course, this is everyone's favorite topic. But, in actuality, most math students, when they see fractions that have one or two expressions, they're very angry. Or some people get upset. Then others are totally just lost. But if you stick with me for a couple minutes, I'm going to give you some outstanding little ways to remember how to deal with fractions. You're going to be very happy. And what we're going to focus on is how to do the following operations with fractions. We're going to learn how to add, subtract, divide, and multiply. Of course, mostly out there probably already learned this. But most students get confused, and they struggle. Because there are things involved like finding the lowest common denominator. But again, we're going to go ahead and give you a nice quick power lesson. You're going to find fractions much easier. Okay, so let's get into fractions. How we multiply and divide fractions. The other half is addition and subtraction. And this is where most people don't like. Because this requires a little bit more work when you have to do like the LCD, the lowest common denominator. So, if you remember that and you are hate finding the LCD, well, I'm going to give you a nice little shortcut. I'm going to call it a hack. First rule: multiplying and dividing fractions. Take a look at a couple examples. So, here we have 2/3 times 1/5. Now, just a quick review. The top number in a fraction is called the numerator. The bottom number is called the denominator. Okay, but here's what you need to know when we're multiplying fractions. The way we multiply fractions is we simply multiply the respective numerators. So, in this case it's going to be 2 times 1. And then, we're going to multiply the respective denominators. That's 3 times 5. So, 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 5 is 15. You're done. Now, let's talk about how to divide fractions. What we're going to do is we're going to convert them into multiplication problems. So, we don't really divide fractions. I mean, technically. But we're going to change the problem into a multiplication problem. So, let's take a look at this problem. 3 divided by 1/5. So, we're going to change this problem from division to multiplication. Okay, but how do we do that? Well, you have to pay attention to the fraction to the right of division symbol. The fraction to the right of it is 1/5. Now, here's how you change this problem to multiplication. You simply take the fraction to the right of the division symbol, and you flip it upside down to 5/1. That's called the reciprocal. And now this becomes a multiplication problem. Now, we're simply going to multiply across, so that's going to be 2 times 5. Of course, is 10, and 3 times 1 is 3. Voila! Let's go ahead, dealing with mixed number fractions. Something like 2 and 1/5. And we're going to multiply it by 1 and 1/3. Well, what you're going to do is rewrite these fractions as improper fractions. So, for example, 2 and 1/5. I can write that as a single fraction by going 5 times 2. That's 10, then I add 1, so that's going to be 10 plus 1 or 11/5. And then, 1 and 1/3 as an improper fraction. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4 or 4/3. So, now I'm just going to simply multiply across. So, 11 times 4 is 44. And 5 times 3 is 15. And we're done. Okay, you already know how to multiply and divide fractions. Let's get into our second rule. Focusing on how to add and subtract fractions. And again, this is where you have to be thinking about the lowest common denominator. But, I am going to give you a lovely hack here in just 1 second. It's like a shortcut. So, let's take a look at this problem. Here I have 2 7 plus 1 7. So, I'll look at the denominators, they are the same. That's 7. So, if the denominators are the same, we're going to keep that denominator in our answer. And then we're going to add the numerators, so this is 2 and this is 1. So that's going to be 2 plus 1 is 3. And that would be 3 over 7. And that is it, okay. Pretty easy to add and subtract fractions. Especially if the denominators are the same. So, if the denominator is the same, we simply add or subtract the respective numerators and we'll get our final answer. Again, that's not that difficult, but here is where the fun starts. What happens when the denominators are not the same? You do need to think about what the LCD is, and you have to learn how to find the LCD. This is very important. However, what I'm doing in this little lesson is giving you a shortcut. So, if I have this fraction, 2/5 plus 1/3. I want to add these together, but they don't have the same denominator. And this is the way most of you answer this question using the LCD method. Right? But hey, what if you don't want to deal with the LCD? Well, you're in luck because you're watching this video. I want you to remember this little symbol right here. It's called a bow tie. This is the general pattern. Always start from the bottom right and you go this way first. So, we're going to do 3 times 2, we're going to put our answer there. And then you're going to go from the bottom left. And you're going to go this way. So, you can see it has like a little crisscross pattern. We're going to put that answer there. So, let's do that. 3 times 2 is 6. Now, this is an addition problem that's going to be plus. 5 times 1 is 5. That's our numerator. Over, our denominator is going to be 5 times 3. So, here's our bow tie. 5 times 3 is 15. Now we simplify that 6 plus 5 is 11 over 15. And that's the correct answer. This is the bow tie method. You're going to want to know this not only for arithmetic, but for variable fractions as well. It is easy, right? That's all for now. Bye.